Yeah, guys, thanks for having me. I was a victim of a crime in 2020. I walked out of my apartment near Union Station, which is on Capitol Hill, to run to the post office on a Saturday morning and was randomly attacked by a homeless man and sexually assaulted in the process. And thank God was saved by people who ran over and got him off me. But it was a long legal process, as typically is the case. And I'm sharing my story now as, the DC crime wave has generated a lot of attention and response from the White House.
In that response, I'm wondering because you're still there, correct?
I no longer live in DC.
Oh,
actually.
you don't? Okay. If you have friends there, can you tell us how are they reacting to Donald Trump's surge of federal officers and National Guard troops? Because what we've heard from a handful of friends who've been there in the meantime is the city's back to feeling like a nation's capital again.
Yeah, from what I've seen on Twitter, it appears that that is the case. People seem to feel more protected. Certainly not everyone's happy. They're more concerned about what this could mean to see Trump using his authority in this way, and some fear it could spread to other cities and be used in illegal means. But I think people in Washington, D.C., interviews I've seen on local and national media certainly suggest that people there are feeling safer. The streets are even cleaner. And some people have even said that it's a chance for people who need help to actually get help, being that they're forced to get help now.
Anna, go
Sam,
ahead, Chuck.
just a minute. Anna, when you went and this assault happened on you, you were following up, you're waiting for notices. And my understanding is from what your column is here that they kept delaying it till the end of 2021. And you would wait to be informed through mail notifications or phone calls and updates on your case. But while this wait happened over a year, this person who assaulted you, he was arrested 5 separate times and released. And each release, the judge permitted the immediate release. And one time he was caught in public with a machete. Your story is beyond aggravating and sad, and I'm sure it holds a place in your heart forever. But this isn't unusual in DC, is it?
Yeah, I can only speak to what I've experienced, to be honest. Certainly, I haven't really actually spoken with other crime victims because so few come forward, especially in the case of sexual assault. It's a very embarrassing thing, even though it's not your fault what happened to you. But, in my case, like you said, he was arrested 5 times after attacking me. He was released all 5 times the following day. I never had a day in court. I never saw the judge. Everything was virtual because of COVID. And so it was a very odd justice process to go through.
One of the things that kind of strikes me is if you go back to the 90s when the HBO series The Wire came out, they sort of they had a couple of episodes that really focused on something very similar to what your experience suggests DC has been doing in gaming their crime stats. And I think every liberal outlet on the planet at that time was jumping up and down screaming about how honest and real that show was. But now when there's evidence that they are actually doing that it is continuing and juxtaposing that against Donald Trump's actions, how does the left justify their position on this anymore? I mean, they're basically saying, we want to continue gaming crime stats. We want to continue ignoring victims like you to increase to support a narrative that allows us to let somebody like this guy who attacked you and then was subsequently arrested 5 times to go free over and over and over.
I think the left, as much as the right, genuinely doesn't understand what the issue is with crime stats. They say they're rigged. They think they're wrong, but they don't understand why. And so that's why I wanted to come forward and share my experience. And what I learned is, as of now, this year, the D.C. police, the Metropolitan Police Department, are not including all felonies, arrests, charges, convictions in their crime stats. So in my case, the man who attacked me was charged and convicted of sexual abuse was the crime. It was not a first-degree crime. First degree would be rape. Second degree, some of those charges include attempted rape, and then there's other second-degree charges, and then there's third degree, and there used to also be fourth-degree sex abuse. My charge was not the first degree or some of those types of second-degree crimes. And so it's not considered serious enough to go on DC's public-facing crime map, even though he went to federal prison for what he did to me. Under DC, how they're handling this, how they're portraying the stats and the safety of the city to the public, they don't think it's safe enough. And I think my tweet coming out, has received 3.5 million views.
Wow.
But no one.
Remember college? Well, now, college is over, and here comes your student loan debt. Is your private student loan debt keeping you up at night? You really need to talk to YRefi. YRefi refinances distressed or defaulted private student loans that others won't touch. They can save you thousands of dollars and get you a custom payment that you can afford. And they don't care what your credit score is. Don't let private student loan debt ruin your life. Call YRefi today.
And, there hasn't been meaningful change. I mean, the White House retweeted it several times, and they haven't reached out to me to say, tell us more about this. Lawmakers have retweeted it and shared it and haven't done anything. So that's part of the frustration for myself and so many other victims who I've met the last few weeks, just nationwide, who have said, we bring attention to the issue, and then no one does anything about it, partly because people don't, you and I don't know how to bring change about, right? But the people who can bring change about, they're not actually reaching out and here's trying to do anything.
That is just unbelievable. I just can't believe it. They definitely need to reach out to you. This is definitely something that there should be a bipartisan agreement on how to report accurate crime numbers and take care of victims. We want to go to an article you wrote, which is just fantastic, inside the Georgia campus where ICE is training thousands of new recruits. Can you walk our audience about going through this campus, what you saw, what are your thoughts on it, what you learned, and just, Dummy's Guide to ICE Training Camp, if you can walk them through it.
Yeah, so this is in New Brunswick, Georgia, Southeast Georgia, and it is called the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center. It's where more than 100 law enforcement agencies in the country actually train, including ICE. And ICE has two different parts within itself. It has the enforcement and removal operations arm, so the folks who arrest, detain, and deport, and then the criminal investigators, so they're not involved with this deportation operation. But both of them are going to train there. They go there for about 8 weeks. They train ahead of time, 2 weeks online, and then they go to this campus. And it almost feels like an elevated college campus where you have, plenty of freedom. You can come and go. You need to be there for classes. It's 6 days a week. There's an obstacles course that's very real life, meant to mimic, jumping over a car, jumping over a fence, running through a tunnel, those sort of things, carrying your partner to safety. And then there's really a heavy emphasis on, learning the law, understanding immigration law, and, how to approach someone on the street or how to carry out an arrest and all those Fourth Amendment issues. And so, the 10,000 deportation officers that the Trump administration will be hiring through the One Big Beautiful Bill funding, they're all going to be going through there. They've started already, and we can expect them to continue to go through there in the next few months. And then as we start to see those numbers, right now there's just 6,500 deportation officers at ICE. So when you add in 10,000 more, if you think ICE is out there now, this is nothing compared to what we're going to see, I think, at the beginning of 2026.
Well, so that actually, Anna, brings me to another question. How are they able, at least according to Democrats a few years ago, they couldn't possibly hire all these people. Nobody wanted these jobs. But now all of a sudden we have the Trump administration, people are lining up for these jobs. Are they having any trouble filling them? Or is that kind of a mirage?
No, I mean, here's the thing. Money speaks. So ICE has put out a big public awareness campaign, and trying to get people to apply. In about 4 weeks, they had 120,000 people apply for 10,000 jobs.
Wow.
And that's partly due, I would think, maybe not partly, but entirely due to their offering signing bonuses of up to $50,000. They're also offering to pay off student loan debt up to $60,000. And then other various retirement pay and different types of bonuses and such for men and women who join ICE at this point in time.
Oh, Anna, they had 121,000 people apply. They're going to take 10,000. How did they choose the ultimate 10,000? And when they're in this training at this Georgia facility, how long is the training? And does everybody pass, or do they fail people as well?
So apologies for the sirens in the background. So it is going to be, some people will not get through. If you can't complete the obstacle course, if you don't understand immigration law adequately enough, then it is going to, have certain impacts. But, one thing, when I spoke with the head of ICE, he was there at this just last week when we were at this campus. He said, we don't just send them out into the field and say, hope for the best. They're going to be continuing to train once they get out to the location they're going to, right? Because the issues that ICE officers face in New York City trying to carry out an arrest in public is going to be very different than ICE officers who are out in, carrying out an arrest in, say, Iowa or something.
Well, and we have just about a minute left in this segment. We're going to be coming back with more from Anna Giaritelli here in just a moment, reporter for the Washington Examiner focused on Homeland Security, immigration, and border issues. But one thing to touch on with that is the Democrats are freaking out. Why are all these ICE activities taking place in California and New York? They are still taking place in Texas and Tennessee and other red states. They're just happening in the courthouse where there's no video being taken because these people are being transferred directly from custody to custody.
Yeah, they're happening around the country everywhere. You don't have activists in, certain red states that are going to be as concerned in filming and posting videos on social media. So that's really what amplifies and makes it seem like it's happening more somewhere than I think other places.
Absolutely. We're going to be talking more with Anna when we come back here. She had another piece that we want to, I really want to get into, Chuck. DHS to deny immigration benefits to those with anti-American views. And also another piece on Trump beginning a border wall construction in the Rio Grande Valley. We want to touch on both of those pieces. So stay tuned, folks. We're going to be coming back with more from Anna Giaritelli here in just a moment. Breaking Battlegrounds. We'll be right back.